talking now. Alright. Today's activity, the ellipse. Now, in class I'm sure I taught you guys what an ellipse is, how to get the ellipse. So I will not be going into drawing an ellipse. What we'll be working on today is this can. So we have one minor axis, two major axes. Alright? So this is what we'll be drawing today. My minor axis, or can also be called the line of symmetry, because it cuts the can directly in half. Now, if I turn it like this, it wouldn't be cutting it in half. If I turn it like this, it will be cutting it in half. So I have my minor axis. I place the major axis, which basically measures up the width of the object, and I put in another major axis here. Hopefully those aren't too lean. Alright, now the thing is, because it's symmetrical, whatever is on this side is exactly over on this side. Now, so this calls for careful measurement. Now, again, because of the symmetry, whatever is up here needs to be down here. So I'm using the same measurement. For this you have to try and be as accurate as possible, or you're going to end up with a drawing that looks like this, which you don't want. There's this lean line. You don't want that. So you have to take the necessary precautions. Then I connect now we have a rectangle. It's not yet a cylinder. We need a cylinder. So again, as I said, I'm not really teaching how to get or how to make an ellipse, because that was taught in class. Whatever is up here, also down here. Now, to make the ellipse. Now, when you're doing this, please do not make any sharp edges. Has to be subtle curves. That's one of my curves, are ellipses. Second, now I could easily put in the remaining, but that one we cannot see. we see these two, which is here, this bottom one here, but I cannot see this one at the back. I do not have X-ray vision, neither do you. Now, this is what we have. There are many ways in order to get the outside edge that we have here, because this cannot be this. Look at it. This is too straight. This has a curve right there. This does not. So we have to figure out a way to get this curve onto our drawing. And one that I've come up with is to simply add it on to the side of the cylinder, which we already have. And as I said, symmetry applies, so whatever I add on one side is added to the next. Now, this side was bigger. This side was bigger than this side for some reason. Now, as some persons do, it's not a sharp curve, sharp turn. It is a curve. Now, all I need to do is rub out this these guidelines, which were supposed to have been done lightly, because that's what they are, guidelines, to help me draw whatever it is I want. So now we end up with something that kind of looks like the can. Now this is not finished. Now to make it look realistic, you have to start observing the object closely. And there's a rim, there's an inside rim. Now that's a very small, fine line. I'm using a marker, so I cannot get as many details as I would love to. I also need to add another on the outside. So it's much easier in a book, but the board is what I have. Next, there's a bigger rim right here. I'm just going to indicate that in another ellipse. Again, there's an inside rim, another inside rim here, so Now it started to come together. My line of symmetry or minor axis is not really needed anymore. Now I'm going to put the cap that we pull up all along with this hole that we have. Now, that's a tip. For some reason it looks a little bit too small, but I'll work with it for now. Now we start to move into the bigger details, or the larger details in the... Now I'm just going to indicate the green rim that we have here. Some of my details are a little bit off, but it's okay for now. Alright, let's jump to the wording, the lettering, the graphic design aspect of the bottle. Now the words Coke here would fit into a line, or let me say a box. This line I'm drawing here is a guideline, but in case C-O-K-E. I'm going to do this quickly. I'm not going to put as much detail